Hey, you guys. I'm so excited that you wanted to do another book study. If we were together, we'd be in the reading corner and we'd be reading things together. But since we're doing digital instruction now, I thought it'd be a perfect opportunity to do another book study with you. And Aja bought me this book this year, and it's been an incredible read. So I'll show it to you. This is Brown Girl Dreaming by Jacqueline Woodson. You know, I'm a sucker for a Newbery Honor book, and she's won the Newbery. She's won a plethora of awards, actually. You see all those? So you know that this is going to be legit. There's going to be some controversial content. There's going to be a lot of learning that the character undergoes, and we get to experience that with her. It's autobiographical. So Jacqueline Woodson talks about her childhood. She's an African American girl during the time of Civil War. So that's some of the stuff we've learned in social studies this year. If you watch the video that I showed you guys, I sent it through the email and I sent it through Google Classroom. There's an interview with the author, and she talks about how she writes in verse. I'm going to show you what that looks like. It looks like a poem. She said that her memories just come to her in bits and pieces, not sentences that just flow from one to the next. And so she wrote the way she remembers. This book has 5 parts, and each chapter is kind of like Maniac McGee, like just real short. And so I'm going to read a couple of chapters at a time and release them to you every couple of days, and so we can kind of talk about the content together. I'm going to start with Part 1, I Am Born. Chapter 1, February 12, 1963. I am born on a Tuesday at University Hospital, Columbus, Ohio, USA, a country caught between black and white. I am born not long from the time or far from the place where my great-great-grandparents worked the deep, rich land unfree, dawn till dusk, unpaid. Drank cool water from scooped-out gourds, looked up, and followed the sky's mirrored constellation to freedom. I am born as the South explodes. Too many people, too many years. Enslaved. Then emancipated, but not free. The people who look like me keep fighting and marching and getting killed, so that today, February 12, 1963, and every day from this moment on, brown children like me can grow up free, can grow up learning and voting and walking and riding wherever we want. I am born in Ohio, but the stories of South Carolina already run like rivers through my veins. Second daughters, second day on earth. My birth certificate says female Negro. Mother, Mary Ann Irby, 22, Negro. Father, Jack Austin Woodson, 25, Negro. In Birmingham, Alabama, Martin Luther King Jr. is planning a march on Washington, where John F. Kennedy is president. In Harlem, Malcolm X is standing on a soapbox, talking about a revolution. Outside the window of University Hospital, snow is slowly falling. So much already covers this vast Ohio ground. In Montgomery, only 7 years have passed since Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on a bus. I am born brown-skinned, black-haired, and wide-eyed. I am born Negro here and colored there. And somewhere else, the freedom singers have linked arms, their protests rising into song. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. And somewhere else, James Baldwin is writing about injustice, each novel, each essay changing the world. I do not yet know who I'll be, what I'll say, how I'll say it. Not even 3 years have passed since a brown girl named Ruby Bridges walked into an all-white school, armed guards surrounding her while hundreds of white people spat and called her names. She was 6 years old. I do not know if I'll be strong like Ruby. I do not know what the world will look like when I am finally able to walk, speak, write. Another Buckeye, the nurse says to my mother. Already I'm being named for this place. Ohio, the Buckeye State. My fingers curl into fists automatically. This is the way my mother said of every baby's hand. I do not know if these hands will become Malcolm's, raised and fisted, or Martin's, open and asking, or James's, curled around a pen. I do not know if these hands will be Rose's or Ruby's, gently gloved and fiercely folded calmly in a lap, on a desk, around a book, ready to change the world. A girl named Jack. Good enough name for me, my father said the day I was born. Don't see why she can't have it too. But the women said no. My mother first, then each aunt, pulling my pink blanket back, patting the crop of thick curls, tugging at my new toes, touching my cheeks. We won't have a girl named Jack, my mother said. And my father's sisters whispered, a boy named Jack was bad enough, but only so my mother could hear. Name a girl Jack, my father said, and she can't help but grow up strong. Raise her right, my father said, and she'll make that name her own. Name a girl Jack and people will look at her twice, my father said. For no good reason but to ask if her parents were crazy, my mother said. And back and forth it went until I was Jackie and my father left the hospital mad. My mother said to my aunts, hand me that pen. Wrote, Jacqueline, where it asked for my name. Jacqueline, just in case someone thought to drop the IE. Jacqueline, just in case I grew up and wanted something a little bit longer and further away from Jack.